Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Mike here from AXC Garage, a channel that's built for today's Acuras, Hondas, and all the classic. And talk about the classic, we have a classic Acura NSX NA1 right over here. We got a few things on the list that we got to do. And also, John's going to tell you guys a little bit more about this special car. All right, John, so what do we have over here, my friend?
Well, we have all these nice goodies that were shipped in from Japan that are going to go on the car. But first, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this car. It's not mine. You guys have probably seen mine. It's red, Formula Red like this, but this one's gone a little bit more extreme, and we'll show you a couple of things that's been done. First off, the whole car has been completely repainted.
Man, it's beautiful.
Yeah, the paint is fresh, and believe it or not, it's a 95, 96, end of 95, beginning 96.
NA1.
NA1 pop-up headlight car. It's been converted to the O2 Plus front end.
John, before we go there, I'm sorry to cut you off. So, is all flip light NSX NA1?
No. So NA1 is less about appearance and more about drivetrain. So the drivetrain from 91 to 96 is a 3-liter 5-speed engine. The NA2 is a 97 to 05, and that is still a pop-up headlight from 97 to 02 is when the front, 01, yeah, 02 is when the new front end came in. So you can have an NA2 that still looks like an NA1. The only difference is your drivetrain, which is gonna switch up to a 3.2 liter 6-speed. So people wanna call this the NA2 front end. It's not really right. This is just the facelift front end.
Fixed headlights.
Yeah, fixed headlight.
And it's beautiful, man.
Yeah, so he has the Spoon GT front bumper on here, paired with the NSXR hood with the actual duct that makes it functional to draw your hot air through the radiator and up over the car, making the car cool tremendously better. They also added on a diffuser onto the front of that to make the front bumper even a little bit more aggressive than it was already. These are all brand new Honda parts. The headlights, the whole conversion was done by a friend of our shop. He also has some custom 3-piece work wheels in a custom finish as well, with Michelin tires on it.
Dude,
Very
this thing
nice
looks
setup.
super aggressive.
Yeah, there's Toyos in the front, Michelin's in the back. Because of the sizing, it was hard to match them by brand. And as you can see, extremely dark tint.
You can't see through
Yeah, this guy doesn't want anyone to see him on the road. Also has a carbon fiber Type R rep spoiler with the winglet on here. Don't know which brand it is, but it's made for this spoiler in particular. And also around the back here is another part of the car that's pretty over the top. It's the ARC LED taillights. They dance, they do a whole bunch of cool stuff, and you can't have an NSX without a really neat custom license plate, NSX. You know, that's pretty cool. He's got a Pride V2 exhaust with another diffuser on it, and a custom O2 rear valance that's been modified to show off the rear end a little bit more. Under the hood, or trunk hatch, however you want to call it, it's all pretty stock, pretty clean condition. Nothing special under here. He's got the NSXR condom on the coolant reservoir.
What is the difference on NSXR?
So the NSXR comes with a mesh cover here. This is the engine cover. It's actually a Target Talk holder. So the NSXR is a fixed top, so it doesn't need this cover. So it comes with a mesh one. That lets the sunlight through. UV damages the plastic, so they put a UV condom on here. That's what the whole idea is behind that.
That's pretty cool.
So we took the top off so we get a little bit more light in the car, and it's a little bit easier for us to work on. So what we're going to be doing is replacing the stock steering wheel with a JDM Type S kit that we got from Mita Motorsports, and it incorporates all factory parts along with a couple of pieces to help the conversion on the US models, like eliminating our SRS light because we will no longer have an airbag in it, and making sure that the horn functions properly. So the kit supplied to us has everything we need in order to do the conversion properly. So that'll kind of complete the Type S look inside here. We initially did this some time ago. It is the Type S shift knob with the Type S shift boot and the Type S shifter stock to give the proper short throw of the Type S car NSX. So it's a very nice setup. All this was from Mita Motorsports as well through Kuya, a friend of ours site where they do a lot of the middleman getting stuff to us. We'll put the link down below, and that's your go-to for not just NSX parts, but parts in general. Very good resource. Another thing we did in here is we put some DC2 Type R Recaro seats in here on some Bride low profile rails. These things were in really great shape. I love the black with the red stitching, the red Recaro. This is one of my favorite seat combinations, and along with a set of Zanardi floor mats, which is basically the US equivalent to the Type S. 51 made and 99. Those were a coupe model, just like the Type S, lightweight car. Similar wheels, everything. The US model of the Type S is the Zanardi. More limited than a Type R, a lot of people don't know that. All right, so you guys already saw the stock stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and go over all the replacement parts for this, and then we'll go ahead and start doing the whole removal and installation. So let me go ahead and open up the best part, the steering wheel. Brand new from Honda, Kuya, whatever the name of his company is. It's very nice, it gives you the best parts around. I like, very nice. Oh, look at this.
So this is a factory OEM part.
This is a factory OEM part that was ordered straight from Honda in Japan. Brand new. Nothing used here. We'll be the first hands touching it.
And what you got over there?
I have the NSX-R horn button. There's two different model horn buttons that you have. The NSX-R is the one that comes with the red H. The black H, which he also has, but we decided to use the red one that comes with it. And this even has the protective covering on it. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. This is the NSX-R. The black H one is the Type S. I think the red goes a little better with the car and the seats. That's the reason we went with this. That's our horn button. Then again, to go with this is the ring cover. I feel like we got a bunch of parrots inside the shop tonight. This goes over top of here. This sits here. And that's pretty much how it's gonna fit. We have all the OEM hub for the car and the Honda packaging. This is the spacer. These are all the screws for bolting it in, and you can see their SLO, their Honda part number. We have a new nut, bolt, I should say. This is the adapter that they made specifically at Mita Motorsports to make the horn work. This is our resistor to cancel out the SRS light. This is a grease that we need to go on here. And these here are also not necessary for the swap, but the owner wanted to make sure the Type S conversion was complete. This has a matte finish to it, which is different than the gloss plastic finish. Also caps off this hole here where the steering, I should say the clock spring will sit, which we're no longer using on this car. And the undercover, this is where the tilt adjustment is. So this is the full Type S steering wheel and column conversion, and these parts are all brand new in the box, nothing used, Honda where able. And we just got a couple tools to do this. We got our 19.5 inch to take the nut off the steering column, a screwdriver, a pick, a T30. That should be about what we need, give or take some cutters and little miscellaneous stuff. But here it goes, let's go ahead and get everything out of the car. All right, so the fun part about working on NSX, especially being a man of large stature like myself, is it's not a whole lot of room. The Recaros in here make it a little less room than the stock seats. A lot of stuff on these cars, I like to remove the seat just so I can fit in the car better. I'm gonna leave the seats in the car for this one, but the first thing we gotta do is gain access to the harness and the bolt that bolts the steering wheel to the steering column. There's gonna be a couple of access panels that we're gonna have to remove. That'll give us access to the screws that hold the airbag in place. Once we pull that out, it'll be pretty self-explanatory. So we got the airbag and steering wheel out of the way. That exposed our cable reel, which has our cruise control controls, our SRS, and this is our horn right here. As you can see, this is all gonna go away. This piece right here is no longer used, and that's why we're gonna put the new covers on here. All right, so we stripped everything off the car that needs to come off. Next thing we're gonna end up doing is gaining access to our harness here, installing our wire tap for the horn, and installing our SRS resistor to shut off our airbag light since we're no longer running an airbag, and moving right along. All right, so what we have here is our SRS resistor. What this is gonna do is this is gonna go in line and fool the SRS system into thinking the airbag's still there, so we don't get an SRS light on the dash, and so that our passenger airbag still works. So we're gonna go ahead and put our connectors on here, because we're gonna be putting wire taps onto the harness on the car, as per these instructions right here, which makes it very easy. All right, so we have our wire taps on the wires we need, and now we're gonna install the resistor. Super easy. One in there, one in here, just like that. And we can take the key and see if the SRS light goes off. Boom. And that's how we know it's working. Next thing we're gonna do is hook up our wire for our horn trigger, and then we're gonna clean up all this nice and neat so it's tucked out of the way. Then we'll start assembling everything back. Mita Motorsports came up with this pretty neat rig here. This will mount on to where the steering angle sensor went with a couple of screws, and this spring is what's gonna make contact to our hub in order to get the airbag to work. So it's pretty nice that someone already came up with this. Everyone has their own way of rigging it to work. This one's pretty simple. All right, so now we got the column covers in. These are all the matte Type S ones. Now we're gonna install the hub, then the steering wheel, then we're ready to go to hit the road on this thing. What we have here is the contact area for the horn. So we have some lube that we're gonna put on here that's gonna stop it from making noise when you turn the wheel. So let's go ahead and put it on here. Doesn't take a whole lot, just a coat. So this says top here. There's also a top on this right here. You want to make sure you line everything up. You also have these two notches right here that will line up with the notches on this. So you just want to try and slide this bad boy in here.
No, yes.
Like a so. Put your nut on. Now we're set up, ready to put the steering wheel on. All right, so here we have the stock NSX steering wheel and the Type S or Zanardi steering wheel in the US. So as you can see, quite a big difference. The whole idea is to save weight. This with the airbag is significantly more weight than this. And you're gonna get a better feel, a little bit bigger grip on this. I think the diameter is a little smaller, better overall feel for the whole car when you're driving it. As you can see here, this is our NSXR horn button and the ring. So we're gonna go ahead and install this in the car on the hub that you saw us install earlier. All right, so steering wheel's installed and it is beautiful. Last thing we gotta do is put this undercover on. This has a light, has a little chime on it as well, and we're done. That's the ding dong. Well, it's all done. It's a wrap. It matches the car perfectly. Time for the next mission.
All right, so we got one more thing on the list, and what do we have here, John?
So, a notorious problem on these NSXs is this fancy intake scoop here that brings air in to the engine bay. Not only does it bring air in, but it brings water in, whether you're washing your car or driving in the rain. And as you can see right here, what's located directly below the vent? Well, the rear bank on your valve cover. And right here are your ignition coils. Water comes over this lip right under here, falls onto here, and then your ignition coils get saturated in water, foul out your spark plugs, you get a misfire. Coils are expensive and hard to come by for the car. This very cheap kit, it's called a coil guard kit. It's available from Kuya. We'll have it on the link in the description as well. And this will help save you hundreds of dollars and even thousands of dollars if you need to pay someone to diagnose your car for relatively cheap. And it's a very simple DIY installation, no special tools required. Step one is installing this piece here. Comes with a adhesive backing. I've already prepped the surface. Here in the instructions, you can see where they want you to route it. Right here, that's located underneath the vent here. You can remove the vent to do this, but it's not totally necessary. So we're gonna go ahead and show you how to install the piece number one. Next step, we're gonna install these rubber plugs right here. All right, now we have this piece here, and that's gonna go right here. You wanna start by lining up the cutout with the cutout right here. This is not adhesive. This is just a press fit. So, as you can see, simple, easy installation, not very complicated. 2 pictures in English on the instructions. You can't mess this one up. Just clean your surface before you stick it down, and it's gonna save you a lot of money and burnt coils from water. I have it on my car. I recommend this, even if your NSX is bone stock. Super cheap, and you can get it at the link below.
All right, guys, we are all done with this NSX. Definitely shout out to Kuya Automotive getting us all these factory JDM OEM upgrade parts, along with Aftermarket Automotive, making this upgrade possible. Now it's definitely transformed the entire interior and also protect the engine bay. We'll go ahead and put the link with the company information in the description so you guys can check them out. You guys haven't already done so, make sure you click that subscribe button and also turn on that notification. My name is Mike, behalf of AXC Garage. Thank you so much for watching. We hope to see you guys on the next one.